All right, what's up? I got a little different one. This is almost like a family one, awareness, whatever the case. We're going to title this one, Who Dropped the Ball? See, I put it that title to make you think, like, all right, what he going to be talking about on this video? Yeah, who dropped the ball? Now, when you hear that terminology, who dropped the ball, you know what that essentially means? Who messed up? Some would say, who effed up? Who the heck didn't do their damn job? Who dropped the ball? You may hear that in military terms, because when the squadron is out doing their procedures and somebody didn't do their job, now they got to find out what exactly went wrong. They go, somebody dropped the ball. Meaning somebody didn't do their damn job. So that's why I said, who dropped the ball? When I'm talking about that, let's talk about families. Who dropped the ball? Did you know? See, because a lot of people, they don't get it. When you are a big brother, a big sister, let's go with the sister, right? When you are a big sister, let's say you let's say your sister is 12 and you're 18. Do you realize, big sister, it is your job to give her guidance. We know your mother and father is the parents, but by default, you are what she look up to. It's your job by default. Meaning, now, matter of fact, let's go with that. Word of the day, default. What does the default mean? Not to fulfill an obligation. So, not saying that your parents didn't fulfill their obligation, but sometimes mom and dad is not around. See? And when they're not around, by default, they're not around because they're at work, wherever they at. They're not around right now. By default, you the big sister, it's your job to make sure that your little sister is being guided the right way. Don't drop the ball on that. It's your job to make sure, hey, you can't be wearing that. No, you ain't gonna be doing that. Listen, no. Just because mommy and daddy ain't here, no, you gotta do this. No, you staying with me. We're gonna be doing this. You lead the right way. You give proper guidance for your little sister, even your little brother. If you the older brother, by default. Not saying that your parents not doing their job. Remember what default means: to backslide, to not fulfill the obligation, to renege. For a lot of y'all out there that love to play the game Spades, and y'all be saying, "Oh man, he reneged on the suit." It ain't called renege. It's called renege. 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 Renege means just like default. It means when you don't fulfill the obligation. So next time you're playing spades, say renege, not renege. I'll be hearing people say renege. It means, yo, man, you were supposed to do this, but because you ain't stick with the heart suit, you threw out a spades and you won. It's called renege. But anyway, let's get back to the point. When you're a big brother, your mother and father at work, or they doing whatever they doing, they not around. See, they not fulfilling their obligation. Right now, as a big brother, it is your job to lead your little brother or your little sister the right guidance, to lead them better. Why? Because you're older. You know more than them. You got more life lessons than them. You've been through stuff where you could prevent them from doing this. You get it? I'm gonna give you some stories about me. Watch this. I remember my oldest brother. Oh yeah, he dropped the ball big time. This ain't me dogging him, but seriously, he dropped the ball. My big brother ain't teach me nothing about girls. Y'all got a brother like that? He was just always concerned about himself. Got tons of girls. He the player of the year, pimp of the year. But they never sit down and talk to me how I need to address myself, how to be a player, how to talk to girls. Nah, my brother dropped the ball big time. I had to learn things out on the fly. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, with sports, my brother played basketball every night, every day. Never took me out to play basketball. Never once. They used to have this thing in my old town called night gym. It would be at the middle school, but they would open the gym 3 times out of the week to play basketball. My brother used to go to basketball every night. I used to beg to go with him. Yo, man, can I go? Because, as a little brother, you just want to hang out with your brother. You want to be anything he do, you want to do what he do. If he walked in the snow, you walked in the footsteps he walked in, right? You looked up to your big brother. But my brother dropped the ball big time. Did your brother drop the ball? Because a lot of jokers don't realize it's your job. When you the big brother, it's your job. When you the big sister, it's your job by default. When your parents not around, for you to pick up the slack by default. But anyway, let me get to the story. I used to beg this guy. You know he's always telling me, nah, man, not tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm hanging with the fellas, man. Not tonight. And I'd be like, man, heck, man. And then the next night, Yeah, I'm begging. I beg this joker every night. Yo, man, can I hang out with you? He will always tell me the next night. So when the next night came, you know what I was doing? When he came in the house getting dressed, I ran over and got my sneakers. And I was getting dressed. He's like, yo, what you doing? I said, yeah, man, I'm going with you. You told me yesterday that the next day you'd take me. He said, nah, man. Look, man, I can't take you tonight, man. Every night telling me he can't take me, right? I guess I looked so sad this night. He took me. It's like 2 times my brother took me. And when he took me, he was off with his friends and told me to just go play over there. Man, and the 2 times he got in a fight, both times, and was yelling at me across the court, talking about, "Lil Junior, go get the bat out the car. I'm about to knock this joke out." I'm like, damn, man, could we for once just have fun? Why you constantly got to get in a fight with something? They dropped the ball. But even all the other nights he didn't take me, I knew he went because all of a sudden now he wasn't getting dressed at the house. So how do I know that he went to the play ball? Know why? Because the next day in school, one of the kids that they went to night gym, they be like, yo, man, why you didn't come to night gym last night? I'm like, oh, nah, my brother, he said he didn't want to tell me, he was busy. He said he wasn't going. Nah, your brother was there because I seen him. See? You know how depressing that is as a kid when you got to hear the truth out of somebody else's mouth because your brother dropped the ball. But watch this. I'm going to go even deeper with that little basketball thing. Never taught me no homework, never spent no time. Nobody in my whole family worked with me my homework. Luckily, I was just one of the fortunate ones that I learned on my own. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend that put me onto the Greek mythology and all that. You know, my friend was what encouraged me to read and all. Nah, I ain't no family helped me. A lot of them just dropped the ball. But watch this. Now, I had guidance on my Uncle Billy, real good. Taught me how to be a man. Now, he ain't dropped the ball. So the day he died, he didn't drop the ball. But anyway, watch this. As much as I wanted to hang out with my brother, teach me about basketball, he never taught me one damn thing. Nothing. I remember he had a girl, right? Her brother used to work with me with baseball. And why he used to work with me, there's some pretty messed up stories. But a lot of people got them. Why he used to work with me in baseball, I was real good at baseball. Because Gary was helping me all the time. Making me enhance my already skills. Do you know one day my no good brother who dropped the ball, out of all the days he seen me over here with Gary, you know this one day he came over there when I was by myself, I had a hard ball, baseball, you know, them things are hard. And he was like, yo man, let me see what you got. Now mind you, my older brother, 10 years older than me. So at the time I was 8 years old, he's what, 18? He was like, yo, let me see what you got, man. And he was throwing the hard ball at me. I mean, he's 18, I'm 8. This joker was throwing the ball like full speed, seeing if I could catch it. Now, you know what I was doing? I damn sure wasn't doing the name of this title. I didn't drop the ball. I caught every one. But boy, oh boy, was it stinging. And he knew it. This how much of a piece of this joker was. He knew it. He knew he was throwing that ball so hard that every time I caught it, pow, I would take the glove off. Like, but watch this. Let's go back to the basketball. Because we damn sure helped with the homework. It sounds like I'm crapping on my fam, but I'm just telling you, a lot of people got these stories. Little girls, little boys, family members, friends. A lot of people drop the ball. We know how it is in the military. I don't care what it is you're doing. Some people drop the ball. But watch this. This one I really knew my brother dropped the ball. I remember when I got in 6th grade, we had moved uptown. And the school, the gym class, they had this pretty cool game that I thought at the time was cool. They would have half the class line up on this side. Y'all know this game. What's the name? I don't remember the name of it. But y'all know what I'm talking about. They would have, in gym class, half the class would line up this side, and the other half would line up this side. And everybody got the same number. You're number 1, you're number 1. Number 2, number 2, number 3, number 3, number 4, number 4, number 4. Everybody got the same number. So when the teacher yells out, number 4 on this side, number 4 on this side, we had to run, we had to jump up. She put a cone, you know, the cones at the end down here, and she put a basketball on each cone. So you had to, when she called your number, you had to run down the court, grab the basketball, run back down the court, shoot a basket, make the basket, run back down the court, put it back on the cone, and it can't fall off the cone, and you gotta go back, sit down. Whoever sit down first, make the basket and sit down first, they win. That's another way I knew my brother dropped the ball big time. Because this is how I played basketball, right? So let's say I was number 5, right? She go, number 5. I jumped up, ran, got to see, dribbling back. Finally get to the hoop. Missed it. This is how I'm shooting ball. Because my brother ain't He dropped the ball big time. He teach me nothing. Finally, I make it. I run back down. I was playing against another person, another kid that their bigger brother dropped the ball. But watch this. About 2 months into the school year, we got a new student. This guy named Javier Rodriguez. Javier was this tall, mind you, we in the 6th grade, we all about right here. Javier was this tall cat, always walking around like he was better than everybody, you know what I'm saying? He was like that. Turns out we in gym class playing that same game that I love. Javier, his number was number 9. When the teacher said, all right, Gabe, we was all happy to go play that game. We got this new student named Javier Rodriguez. He taller than everybody, but we don't know what he could do. When the teacher said number 9, the other kid on this side jumped up and sprinted down the court. Javier just got up nonchalant, was like this. And his team was like, run, what are you doing, run? The other kid was like, dribbling all crazy. Javier finally got the ball. Javier was just like this. Behind the back. He stood at the top of the key, the 3-point line, was like, all net. Grabbed the ball and was like, put the ball back. By the time he put it back on the cone, the other kid finally made the basket and was running up to him. And he was like, and just sat down. It was the most incredible thing. Because we was like, yo, man, he real good. Oh, man, I want Javier on my team. From now on, I want Javier. But what we didn't know, Javier had older brothers that taught him how to play. But another crucial thing we found out, Javier got left back twice. He was supposed to be his butt in the 8th grade. Now he was in the 6th grade. That's why he was looking at all the other kids like, man, I'm better than all y'all. Nah. See how delusional Javier was? See, his brothers and them dropped the ball on him when it came to education. They ain't dropped the ball on him when it came to sports. Because in his mind, he think he better than us. But the truth of the matter, Javier, you was beneath us. Yeah, you was taller than us. You was better than us on the court. But you got left back twice. You supposed to be in the 8th grade. You here with 6th graders, thinking you better than somebody. Isn't that crazy, folks? That's crazy. But I gotta admit, we thought Javier was the best thing since sliced bread. We was like, yo, man, he didn't even run, man. And then he told us later, yeah, man, my brothers taught me all this, man, when I was little, man. This is how he was talking. He's like, man, I knew how to play basketball since I was like 4 or 5 years old, man. My brother always spent time with me, man. He taught me all of that. He showed me all of that stuff. We was like, man, he even cool, man. We thought he was the bomb, but later on we found out, nah, Javier, you was a loser. You stayed back. How many of y'all, we find out later in life, through Facebook or whatever, people we went to school with, we find out they 2, 3 years older than us. Why? Because at the time when we was in 5th, 6th grade, we all thought, oh man, I remember this cat I went to school, his name was Tyrone. I was in the 7th grade, Tyrone was in the 6th grade. So I always thought, I knew I'm older than Tyrone. But now we older, we 50 something. I see on Facebook, they say, oh, Tyrone, 55 years old. Say happy birthday. I'm like, wait, 55? Wait a minute. Oh, so that joke was 2, 3 years older than us back. We just didn't know it. And we always gave him all this credit, how good he was. Nah, that joker was stupid. But back to the original point. Who dropped the ball? For all you sisters, and older brothers, by default, remember what default means. Failure to fulfill the obligation. When mom and dad and other parents are not around, they're not fulfilling their job because they're not around for whatever reason. Most of the time because they're at work. Unfortunately, sometimes where mom and dad might be, unfortunately, incarcerated or maybe in a nursing home or whatever case, whatever. It might be grandma. Now, by default, because grandma not around, that means her daughter, her son, they got to take care of the home. Stop letting the home depreciate. Stop letting the home fall apart. Because by default, grandma not here, granddad not here. Y'all always was like, man, granddaddy always working on their house. Every time I come by, granddad always working on their house. Well, guess what? Granddad's sick now. So by default, the grandchildren should be taking care of their house, opposed to the house start falling apart. You understand what I'm saying? So like I said, when y'all always was complaining that granddaddy always working on the house, always doing something in the house, right? But now granddaddy's sick, or he in a nursing home. So by default, It is your job to pick up the pieces. Why? Because you remember years ago when you and your mother got evicted out of the house, where did y'all go stay? Y'all went to go stay over grandma and granddaddy house, right? They put you in, right? They took you in, right? So that's what you're supposed to do by default is pick up the pieces. That's what that means. Just like old boy said on Martin, remember? Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. That's what you're supposed to do. What was his name? The comedian. Pick up Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan. Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. Just pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. That's another way of saying default. What the definition means. It means when an obligation has not been fulfilled by default, meaning you gotta pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces. But a lot of people drop the damn ball because someone else's obligations cannot be fulfilled because of medical reasons or whatever, financial reasons. That does not mean the rest of the families go, man, the hell with it. I ain't worried about it. Nah, you should be worrying about it. It is your job by default to pick up the pieces where everyone else couldn't do it. By default. Particularly this story was about brothers and sisters. You got a little brother, a little sister, by default, big brother, big sister, it's your job to lead them and lead them the right way. Peace.